Hi, welcome to Fictional Narrative. I'm Neri, and it has been a long time since I made a bookish video, which is unfortunate. But I was watching Books with Bonnie do her 10 Before the End, and I had left a comment saying, I don't even know if I'm going to finish 5 before the end. But then I looked at my reading goal, and I'm actually like 14 books behind, so regardless, we're gonna do 10 before the end today, and December will just be my heaviest reading month ever. Well, for this year. So, a lot of the books that I want to complete in my 10 before the end are contemporary romances, just because I've accumulated quite a few over the years, but I haven't been able to read them. And I'm really trying to work on not buying any extra books, but rather reading what's on my shelf so that I can declutter my bookshelves. So, one of those is Lease on Love. So, it's very much a forced proximity romance, which I'm not huge on forced proximity, but I kind of wanted to find out what it was about. Maybe the author would have a cute take that I can really appreciate. The next contemporary romance book is Love Unscripted. So Love Unscripted is a story about a film projectionist and his partner, and when things seem to be over and he's seeing if movie magic and love really does exist. Very cheesy, very cute. Better Than Fiction. I have been trying to read this, and then every time I open it, I just get so distracted. In this one, a best-selling author meets a reluctant bookstore inheritor, and maybe he's able to convince her that the movie isn't always better than a book. I know we say that the book is usually better than the movie. For her, it's the opposite. So it's interesting. I just think it'll be cute overall. The next contemporary romance I am going to read is Crazy Stupid Bromance. Now, this is the third book in the Bromance book club. So, mind you, when I write this in my notes, I abbreviate Bromance Book Club, and because book and club are two different words and not just like two words combined that we often like put together sometimes, the abbreviation is it's been an interesting up and down with these series so far, and it really just depends on the characters that you are following in them. So in this third book, it is a cafe owner and a very techie guy who was introduced, I believe, in the second book. Yeah, I don't think I remember any mention of him in the first one. So he was introduced in the second book. I think it could be very sweet. They're not really the couple that I wanted to follow next. I wanted to read about the Russian hockey player next, but I think that is actually the fourth book. So I will get there eventually. I know I don't have to read these in order, but I want to. So, Jar of Hearts. As you can see, I mark my books towards the center, just so I can see that I'm getting halfway through a book, just because my attention span is really unfortunate. But this book, I've actually gotten through it quite well. Jar of Hearts is a kind of murder mystery suspense thriller. Less on the mystery and a lot on the I do not like the main character. I don't like any of these characters. The only good one was probably the one who died. So I had to set it down, but it is a small book. It is a quick read, and I am determined to finish it just because I keep putting it down every time I'm reminded that I dislike the main character so much. But I refuse to DNF it because at this point I at least have to see it through the end. So kudos to the author on that point, because it's not even a hate read. It's that it's giving me enough twists that I want to see it to the end. I'm also reading Play As It Lays? Play It As It Lays. Okay. So this is a fictional book by Joan Didion. I've read a lot of her essays and I love her writing. I just thought that reading a fictional book by her would be interesting. So far from what I see, the way that she uses grammar, the way that she stylized everything is pretty interesting. I'll also be attempting to finish Changing Planes. I did not make it too far in this. I'm actually only page 66. I started it and then put it down. I'm not just a mood reader, I also start multiple books and then forget. If that's any more of an indication of how my attention span is. But I will be finishing it. Next is Sin Eater. This one has a beautiful cover, but because it's a hardcover, I like to take the jacket off. It's rare that I actually keep the jacket on my hardcovers. I don't know why, I just like the way that it looks as a hardcover on its own. But I will be reading this. I know I got this book in a haul a couple years ago, so it's finally something that I'm always like, it's so small, I can finish it whenever. I will be finishing it this year. B-Side Books is actually a compilation of different essays. So I like to make sure that I get some nonfiction in my reading, so this will be part of that. I think I've started a couple nonfiction books. I would have to review everything I've read this year. I don't know if I finished a nonfiction book, but I will definitely be finishing this one because I know I definitely started a few. And then finally, to round out this 10, which is so weird because I just say I take the jacket off of most of my hardcovers, but I didn't get to this one. I think I left this one and the sequel to this one, the jacket's on, just so that I have it because I was going to review this duology. But this is the first book, Daughter of the Moon Goddess. It is definitely something that is interesting to me because it's one of those stories that also weaves in mythology. So this is the first one in the duology, and I will hopefully be finishing it this year. I will be finishing it this year. And then hopefully I can get to the last 4 books that I need. I just don't want to over plan because otherwise I'm really not going to make it if I over plan. So these are the 10 that I'm going to finish before the end of this year. Tell me if any of these interest you. And if you have any tips for my attention span, please leave it in the comments. And I will see you next time.